Hey YouTube, Bill in the Hills again. I had a couple requests on how to make the lantern in my walking stick, and for those of you that haven't seen it, I shot a small video a while back on my walking stick, but I'll just quickly show you. Now this is just my lanyard to hold it, of course. Now that right there you can just roll up. I'm just going to take it all the way out of the way. It's just an inner tube that goes around this aluminum staff. Now right here on top, I'm not going to go through this, it's on some other video, but I have my saw there. Now what we're going to do today is I want to show you how to make this, some people call it a lantern. I'm going to try to use some alcohol, some cleaner alcohol in it, and see if we can actually make a small cook stove out of it as well. I'm going to guess that's probably going to hold probably a little better than 2 ounces in there, maybe closer to 3 if you will. So this is a hard case. I wrapped leather around it, and what it is, it's just an air chamber that you can get at any plumbing store. It's already got a 1/2 inch end on this side, which I've already soldered or sanded up. Now I'm going to kind of show you how to do this. Now this particular one here, when this one's done here, it won't take a few minutes to make it. Has a wick in it and fuel in it. Now what I have in here now is tiki torch fuel, which kind of soots a little bit, but it's good for a lamp. But now if I put cleaner fuel in it, maybe we can cook off of it as well. Now this is a good hard case. You're not going to bust this thing. It's a lot better than some of the plastic balls I've seen on YouTube, people carrying fuel in the woods. Now I may even switch over to burning fuel a little bit instead of so much wood and having to do all the cleanup with my canteens and stuff. I think a person could probably birch oil and some other things that you could probably manufacture in the woods to burn in this lamp. Probably wouldn't burn as clean as alcohol. So let's just get started. Basically, like I said, it's just this air chamber right here, and I'm going to scoot you a little closer over here when we solder. It's just a air chamber that you can get in any plumbing store. Now you can duplicate this with like a 3/4 cap and a 3/4 by half reducer in any length of tubing you want to put in the middle here. And this here is just a 1/2 inch sweat fitting with a 3/8 compression on top. Now what I've done is just discarded the nut and ferrule that comes with this, and I've got an actual cap that I'm going to pop an O-ring in that's going to seal this thing up good so it won't leak and you won't lose your fuel, won't get any alcohol burns, or won't destroy your pack. Okay, now I'm going to try to do this a little bit different. Mine, I actually soldered the tip on, and I think if we can possibly silver solder this top on, you could probably even use it for a char can or something, but I'm kind of afraid that with a hotter fuel that maybe it's going to heat up and break the solder joint. So I'm going to try to use this seal flossing rod here, which don't require any fluxing, just a nice cleaning. So let's just see if we can. We'll make a little stand here. Okay, I'm going to get you a little bit closer and I'll get back with you. Okay, now we're back. Let's just see. You got to get these pretty hot to use the silver solder. So let's just see if we can get it hot enough with this torch here. You could probably use solder. I mean, if you really never had a reason to drop it in a fire pit, I don't know that flame out of the top of this torch is going to be enough to melt solder loose. Now, I probably should have sanded the chrome off the top of that fitting. It would have made that bond a little bit better around that lip, but I'm hoping it's taken really well on the inside. I'm going to cool this thing down and we'll take a look at it here in a minute. Okay, we're back. I put that on a vise and give that a good tug, and that it definitely taken very well there. I went in and took the liberty of grinding this off while I was off camera. Hit it just a little bit there, but that'll polish right out too. Again, this is a really, really good piece of copper. Now, I'm going to show you how to finish this off, and then we're going to give it a test run. I'm going to go ahead and probably need a little bitty funnel, but I just don't have one, so I'm going to challenge myself here. I'm assuming this kind of alcohol burns. Now, like I said, the Tiki Torch fuel, I guess you could burn about anything in it, gasoline or anything if you wanted to. Some's going to sit up more than others. It's always going to be a good, reliable fire starter if you got fuel in it. Let's see, that seemed to fill it up. Probably pour a little bit more of that back out. Now, I just took a Tiki Torch wick out of an old torch that I had up there. And we're just going to fish that right down in there. And there's a little wire here. We'll take that off. Alright. Well, it kind of scrunches up in there. Get this alcohol off of me. Let's see. Don't really have anything to hold it, so let's see if we can improvise something here. Don't really want to hold it if something goes wrong. We'll have a way to get rid of it. Okay. Excuse me. Well, let's see if we can get a little alcohol up here to the front. Okay, well, I guess that kind of alcohol does burn. So, I guess a man could probably pull the wick out a little bit to maybe make the flame a little bit taller. That may be even enough once this kind of starts heating up, as far as to stick this in the ground and stick it underneath your, your cooking gear. So I guess this could be a good cooking utensil. Now, the other one, the one I have in my stick here, now I do have some extra threads on here, you'll see. I ended up drilling out another adapter and soldering it on there so that I could attach, my saw right there at the end, so I could have a good solid handle for my saw. I'm going to pull this one out a little bit. This one here is the one that has the tiki fuel in it. So you can see the difference in the flame. See, that one's sitting up quite a bit, so it'd be a nice little, I called it a torch. I had some response, people calling it a lamp, which I guess is probably more of a lamp than it is a torch. And I guess you can cook with this one also. Now, it's definitely going to set your pot up, but it'll get you out of a jam. That one there, now I've seen some people use some heat fuel, which is some type of fuel antifreeze. Now, see how the O-ring right there? Now, I haven't put one in this one here yet, but that's what keeps this guy from leaking out. And I generally just push the wick back down in there just gently, and that's on there. And I haven't had this one leak yet, and I carry it upside down right in the top of my staff. Of course, I have my saw attached on there, and that fits right in there just really nice. Now, I just used some glue. I think it was some type of shoe glue or something like that, that actually I attached this leather to that, I had a problem finding something that would stick to that copper. But that's how mine turned out, and I did a little extra part for this one. But I'd had some response on how to make the lantern, or some replies. So that's how. Now I guess fuel's going to differ to what other people want to use. But like I said, I've seen some people use that heat fuel, and it's got a pretty odd smell to it. I don't know if I'd really want to smell that out in the woods, but it did cook okay, or heat up pretty good. Now this is just regular old rubbing alcohol. And I don't know how long that would last or how much light it would give you. But it goes out easy enough, and once I have, let's see, that didn't heat up at all, so probably seal flossing it probably wasn't even necessary. Probably just some easy old solder, which I did on this one here. I thought I'd just try something different with this one and just try to seal floss it, and I was able to, but I think it was probably not necessary because this is not even warm. And I need to get an O-ring and put in this cap. So once I get me a good little O-ring, put it right in my cap there, I can put whatever type of fuel I want in this, and I can throw it in my pack wherever I want. It's not going to leak, you're not going to break it, you're not going to crush it. Now if you desire more fuel, they've got adapters, half by, this is 3/4, they've got half by 1, and then after that I think you got to start, you know, changing sizes on the half side. But you can go all the way up to a 1-inch pipe, maybe even up to 1 1/4 inches, and then just use a half by whatever size you want, 1 by or half by 1-inch reducer, short piece of pipe, whatever length you want, and then solder a cap on it and do the same thing. So there it is. That's my torch, my lantern. Could be a source of cooking, could be just a good source of carrying fuel for people who enjoy using fuel out on the trail. It's not going to leak on you. And they even make different O-rings that they sell at motor, you know, auto parts places that I think are different colors that are actually made and designed for gasoline. I think they might be green O-rings. This is just a regular plumbing O-ring that seems to be doing good for me. But they do make different O-rings in different sizes. So give it a shot and let me know what you think. Thanks, YouTube.